Hi everyone, it's Dave. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Wilde Reads. I've got another book haul for you today. Well, it's the first one I've done this month. We recently went to a lovely town called Hay On Wye, which is famous really worldwide for A, being the home of the Hay Festival, and B, being a book town. It was a book town set up nearly just over 40 years ago now by Richard Booth, and it's just got bookshop after bookshop after bookshop. It's a beautiful town. I've got some vlog footage that I'm going to put together and paste together with some photos. That will be coming out soon, but I thought I would show you the books, or some of the books that I've hauled in Hay. So when you get there, you get given one of these. This is a sort of a guide to the town. So you get a map here with a numerical guide telling you where the places are. It's not a very big town, it's quite compact. And then on the other side, you get notes explaining what the shops are and what they sell. There's a lot of specialists in Hay as well. A lot of it's antiquarian and second-hand, although there are a couple of bookshops that sell new books as well, as you will see in a moment. But it's a wonderful, wonderful place, and full of, I mean, it's a book lover's paradise, really. It really is. If you haven't been to Hay before, I thoroughly recommend it. It's just a lovely, lovely place. So let's get straight on with the books, because there are quite a few. New books that I bought. No, these aren't new. These are second-hand. I'll get some new ones in a moment. So this is How to Read a Novel, a user's guide. Not that reading a novel needs a user's guide, but it's a book about books, and I love books about books. So this was written by John Sutherland. It came out in 2006. I was aware of it, and I think I've owned a copy of it before, but I never got around to reading it, and I can't find it, so I thought I'll buy this one. And it says here, a clever engagement with a novel is one of the nobler functions of human intelligence. Novels are to be enjoyed, and the better we read them, the more enjoyment we get. We assume reading is like a bicycle. You can do it, you're literate, or you can't, you're illiterate. But reading well is almost as difficult as writing well. This book is a guide on how to do it. It shows you how novels work, what they're about, what makes them good or bad, how to talk about them with kindred spirits. So then I got this one, which is The Most of Nora Ephron. This is a collection of journalism written by the late great Nora Ephron, and it's a collection really of her journalism through over about a 20-year period, I think, and it looks really interesting, and it was only about £5 brand new. It just looks really good, so I got that. This is a second-hand book, P.G. Wodehouse, A Life in Letters, edited by Sophie Ratcliffe. I love P.G. Wodehouse. I love the writing, and I love the stories of P.G. Wodehouse, and I love collections of letters, especially from writers and literary figures. I've got quite a few now, books of letters from writers. Kingsley Amis, Somerset Maugham, those type of people. So that's a nice addition to the collection, so I can't wait to get into that one. Next we have some new books. So I've got this one, Rose Tremaine, Rosie. This is Scenes from a Vanished Life, it says here, and this is Rose Tremaine's childhood. Rose Tremaine is one of my favourite female writers. I read a lot of hers. I don't think I've read any Rose Tremaine this year. I read a few of hers last year, and they were all brilliant. I love, love, love Rose Tremaine. I've still got to get to her historical fiction, but this is her tales of growing up and just stories from her childhood, really. So really looking forward to getting into that. Then I've got a trio here of new books. So we have, I think these are all literary fiction. So we've got Story of a Marriage by Gia Gullikson, and it says here, brilliant and breathtaking, sexy and sad. And in his struggle to understand what has happened to his family, how his wife could fall in love with another man after 20 happy years, John attempts to tell the story of the collapse of his marriage. But from her point of view, he tries to get inside her head, to see it all as she did, all the while knowing that he can never really achieve this, and that his efforts reveal more projection than insight. How can one truly know another person? How much of what we think is love is just construct? Is it possible to find and maintain the great love we all long for? Gullickson explores these questions, turning them over and over again till they crack, revealing hollowness or possible new meanings. And it's described here as intense, erotic, dramatic and raw. A story of a marriage examines two people's inner lives with devastating honesty. That's just my kind of book. Yeah, looks really good. Can't wait to get into that one. Next, I have Crudo. This I've heard a lot about, and I've heard some really, really good reviews on this. So really looking forward to getting into Crudo. Next new book here is The Lido from Libby Page. This was a good spot. This is brand new, but it was in Oxfam. And Vicky spotted this because she knew I wanted this, and she spotted it on the shelf. Well done, Vicky. £1.50, a bargain. The Lido, Libby Page. Joyous and uplifting, it's described as. Meet Rosemary, 86, and Kate, 26. Dreamers, campaigners, outdoor swimmers. Rosemary has lived in Brixton all her life. Everything she knows is changing. Only the local Lido, where she swims every day, remains a constant reminder of the past and her beloved husband, George. This is uplit. This is supposed to be really good. I've heard really, really good things about this. The next one I have is another book about books, and this is Why I Read: The Serious Pleasures of Books by Wendy Lesser. I haven't come across this one before, but this again looks really, really good, so I can't wait to get into it. It's just examining why people love books and why they get pleasure from books. So again, looking forward to that one. Next we have a Howard's End, because I've got this copy. You may have seen my copy. I've got a 1951 Penguin Orange vintage copy of this, which I bought when I was 14, and I've told the story before. But I wanted another copy of it because this one is slightly earlier. It's slightly different on the cover as well. So this is a 1946 edition of Howard's End by E.M. Forster. My favourite ever book, for those that don't know. And I just wanted it. If I saw 6 of these, I would buy them all. If I saw 6 in the same binding, all lined up, I would buy them all, because I cannot stop buying copies of Howard's End. I just love it. I want it. My aim is to have a copy of Howard's End in every edition that has ever been published in English, and then I'll start collecting the foreign editions. But yeah, it's Howard's End. What more is there to say about it? It's the best book ever written, in my opinion. The next one I have is Howard's End. This is the Barnes and Noble Classic Edition, which I didn't have, and it's got a beautiful picture on the cover there of Howard's End. This one's got introduction and notes by Mary Goulden. I didn't have the Barnes and Noble I didn't have the Barnes and Noble copy. I do now. Which leads me into this. This is I can't believe the price of this. In a bookshop called Addyman's. Addyman's has got 3 bookshops in Hay, and one of them's Murder and Mayhem, which is a crime bookshop, and they've got a lot of first editions. They've got a lot of Agatha Christie. Brian from Brian's Bookshelves would absolutely love that shop. Brian, you've got to go there. If you're watching, get yourself down to Murder and Mayhem in Hay On Wye. You would be in absolute paradise. But in his other shop, in Addyman's other shop, called the Addyman's Annex, he's got something that's delightfully called the Back Passage. And you can go and have a rummage in Addyman's Back Passage, because he's got loads of bargains. And he's got this. He had quite a few copies of this. This was £1, brand new, a biography of E.M. Forster by Wendy Moffat, published by Bloomsbury. £1, brand new. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? I just had to have it. I think, again, I've owned this before. Next is another brand new book. This is The Paper Lovers by Gerard Woodward. I've covered this recently in my 6 books to look out for in July, I think it was, or it may have been June. Either one of those videos. This is The Paper Lovers by Gerard Woodward. Arnold Proctor's quiet life is thrown off balance when he falls obsessively in love with Vera, a religious woman and one of his wife's friends. Vera seems untroubled by her wrongdoing, yet faithless Arnold is racked with guilt. He has never believed in God, but now he wonders if he truly believes in anything at all. Polly makes handcrafted paper, and even though the age of paper is dead, She runs a successful shop selling her exquisite products. Polly is happy, is secure and happy in her life until the day her husband Arnold makes a very uncharacteristic declaration. The Paper Lovers is a devastating story of sexual, religious and artistic obsession. It is about love and betrayal and what becomes of us after our greatest certainties have been shattered. Again, just my kind of book. Really looking forward to getting into that one. That's The Paper Lovers by Gerard Woodward. The next one here is a copy of Howard's End. And look at this cover. Isn't that a gorgeous cover? And look at the spine. Ooh, nice. So this was published by a company called the Softback Preview. So I guess it's American because in England we call softbacks paperbacks, and in America I believe they're called softbacks. But it was printed by the Bath Press in Bath. So I don't know if it is American or not. Is this, for anyone who's got this, is this an American edition or not? Even so, it's an edition that I didn't have and I do now. So yes, the beautiful, the wonderful, the great, the inspiring Howard's End by Ian Forster. The next couple here, I've got Alan Bennett. I bought this one second hand. Alan Bennett, The Uncommon Reader. I've got this in audiobook as well, I believe, but I haven't got round to reading it yet. And I love the writing of Alan Bennett, and this is only sort of a 120-page book, so I'll be getting to this one pretty soon, I would imagine. Then I have another Alan Bennett here. This is just 3 stories from Alan Bennett: The Laying On of Hands, The Clothes They Stood Up In, and Father, Father Burning Bright, again from the wonderful Alan Bennett. And the last one I've got for you in this one, because I think I am going to split this up into 2, because I bought a lot of Oscar Wilde books when I was away as well. So the last one I've got is Rachel Joyce, The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry. I've had this before and I lent it out, and I had a first edition hardback. But what I like about these Rachel Joyce hardbacks is if you lose the dust cover, printed on the cover you get these wonderful pictures. And I've read this book when it came out, and it's brilliant. And this is the book that's often credited with starting the recent uplit movement. So Rachel Joyce is a brilliant writer, and I've read The Music Shop recently from Rachel Joyce, which was brilliant. So I wanted to get another hardback copy of Harold Fry, and now I have, and this was about £1 as well. So that's the first instalment of the books that I got from Hay On Wye. I probably will do a second one because I bought a lot of Oscar Wilde books when I was away as well, so I want to show you those. But I'll save that for another video, because if I added those books onto this one, the video would be far, far, far too long. Whatever you're doing this week, enjoy your books, and I'll see you very soon for another BookTube video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.